Welcome back. I've got my guest here, Danielle Babatunde, who's been sharing her story and about a missionary, and we're going to talk about how she made a few changes. Danielle, so with all your PK friends, I'm using your terminology.
Yes.
What were you going to do with them? With your experience from missionary and all that happened? What was the idea you had?
My heart was just that I wanted them to experience what I'd experienced out there in the mission trip. I wanted them to kind of get the revelation that I got, that I needed to be out of my normal comfort environment to be somewhere else,
isn't it?
And hear that. And I was like, what are they going to do? And I remember driving, and I remember before that I, on the show that I was on, I remember the manager saying, there's 1,000 people coming to watch all of you, you better bring it. And I was just like, it would be amazing if 1,000 people were coming for something of God, something to do with God. 1,000 young people.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, we need to do something. And I literally just created a character.
Okay.
And I created this character that basically involves nearly every single person I know.
Wow.
Like, I just created a character of a pastor's son who has been grown up in the church, really religious.
Replicating the real life scenario.
Real life scenario of people that I know, like my friends. Real life scenarios of people that I've met. And I put their situation.
And a bit of yours also, isn't it?
A bit of mine as well. And I put their reality in this character. And I made this character, and he was a pastor's son, and he had, had to be in church 4 times out of 7 days a week, and, plays instruments and just, and he wasn't, and he had no relationship with God, and he went out to uni and he was just like eyes open, whoa. And he started delving into drugs, started sleeping around, all sorts. But what was so amazing was that God was knocking at his door. God was knocking, and God actually came to him through a dream and spoke to him about how he needs to pick either me or the world. And I created this character, and I was like, we need to show them this character. So I just said, I'm going to do a production.
Okay.
And I remember talking to my best friend about it, and she was like, yeah, let's add this, let's add this. And because I was quite known from before in terms of just like being on the game show, always doing these dance videos and all this other stuff I used to do. So because of that, I would be like, I'd just go to uni and just be like, guys, I'm putting on a production. Do you want to be part of it? And I was like, yeah. I was like, they're going to sing. I was like, right, we need some singers, we need some actors, we need some dancers, we need some people serving food.
You sing, isn't it?
I sing.
You got friends who,
exactly, and I've got Michael, who was able to help with the singing, and then because I act as well, I just created this play, and before we knew it, we had a team of like 25 young people at that place, and we started rehearsing because we had all these connections. We're in uni, we have free rooms, free meeting rooms.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I know you said you used to pray, you used to fellowship together.
So it was so interesting because a lot of us we didn't really know what we're doing. I had this heart that I wanted to reach out to those people, and these young people just wanted to be involved in something quite different. A gospel production, what's that? Like, okay, let's do that. And so they were all just bringing their gifts and whatever they had. Oh yeah, I want to serve food. We've got Krispy Kremes to sponsor us. We've got banners, like different people doing different things. Wow. And then we connected with the church to be able to hold it in the church. And then it was just amazing how 250 people came, and 50 people gave their life to Christ on that day, and it was
the production.
It was insane. And what was amazing was that people that I met there, like all my friends that I wanted there were there, and they all literally said, I saw my life on stage. That's what they said. They were like, you put myself on stage.
It's like seeing a picture of your life that you've lived, isn't it? Yeah. And then seeing, okay, so where am I now?
Where am I now?
Yeah.
And what's so amazing is that's what I wanted for these productions, is that people see themselves, they see the reality. This isn't just a fake scenario. This is real situations, and how God is in all these little situations. And it's just amazing what God did. And I literally thought that was it. Like, I was just like,
we've done that production. That was what we wanted
I was like, we've done it for all the PKs, and we did it for all the young people there.
What was the atmosphere like?
It was amazing. It was amazing. The worship through song was powerful, and just the atmosphere was buzzing because it's something new that had been done. It's never been done before. And so everyone was just excited, like, what's going on? Like, I was even excited, like, what's going on? I remember, like, even just preparing for that time was so intense for me because I went into serious fasting. Like, I lost so much weight. Like, it was drastic. Like, my mum was like, like I was a stick. And I just remember,
Well, you saw the results, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
The awesome presence of God and what happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after that, what was that the end of the production? What then happened?
That was the plan. Like the plan was that my job is done because
Yes.
the people that I wanted to see take their life serious was starting to think about it, and that's what I wanted. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, drag you by your feet, but I want to inspire you through that. And so I literally thought that was it. And then more people were like, I heard about this production. You need to take it to Birmingham. You need to take it to here. You need to take it here. Other uni students need to see this. Other people need to see this. And I was just like, oh, okay. But I remember like the challenges that I went through just put that on because it was literally me and my friend carrying such a huge thing. And I remember I was like, okay, I need to get a team. Like, I need to get a team. I need to get a team out here.
You can't do that on your own.
I can't do that. Literally, I can't do that on my own. And so, yeah, we went to Birmingham a few months after. We did the same production, and then we wrote a new play and went to London and Coventry and Leicester.
And how many people came in Birmingham?
So Birmingham, 350 people came. Not as many people gave their life to Christ, but more people came. Okay. I remember we went to London, 400 people came. And then we went to Coventry. And that was like, oh my God.
What happened in
That was like the biggest rock of like Transcend, like the gospel production, the ministry that we have. Because we had been so used to having 300, 400, 250.
How were you funding this? Sorry, if I may ask. Because I'm thinking all in university.
My overdraft. No, it was me. It was just, I mean, it was. So the first production we did, I asked like my aunties, my uncles, my mum, my dad. Like there were some people in my church that were just, they just caught onto the vision. It was amazing. Like it's just amazing how. Like they're just they really sewed into it and they continue to.
That's amazing. But the way you talk about it, you know, it's something everyone would want to, you know, the excitement. No,
and it costs a lot. It's like about 1,000 every single production, and we're uni students. We don't have money like that, so we're just trying to raise whatever we can. I'm putting whatever I can. But I remember when we went to Coventry, and that was like a real rocky, like a kind of a moment for me because we had been so used to the numbers. And I remember 3 weeks before the event, and we had 5 people. And I was like,
300, 400,
how can you go from 300, 200 to 5 people? And I remember being like, what is going on? And that was like one of the first times that we did the production that was out of uni. So I did feel like, we're not in we're not in that place anymore. You know, people don't know us anymore, you know? And I remember 5 people, and I remember just thinking, should I cancel it? Should I delay it? Should I postpone it? And I just remember plowing through, and it was just very emotional for me because I was just like, what is going on? Like, and that play was so particular because we had changed the 7 churches in Revelations to characters.
Which was what you used to focus on.
And what we used to focus on. And it was titled, Are My People Prepared? And it's actually God talking to the church through 7 different forms. And it's that play is amazing. You know, you're going to see your life on that stage. It's not about one pastor's son. This is everybody is going to see their life.
Replica of the kind of life you live.
And it was so important. And I remember being like, God, your people need to see this. And I remember literally a few days before the event, like it just went to like 30, and I was like, are you joking? But what God was literally telling me was that it's not about the numbers. And you need to understand that if 5 people came, those 5 people could be better than even 300 because those 5 people can be the people that are going to grab what I am trying to do, which is God's sake speaking, and run with it and make that domino effect and inspire 1,000 people that would have started in the vessel that I used. However, you could have had 300 people and all you would have got was, that was an amazing play.
And that's it.
That was an amazing production. And you would have got all the praise and no glory would have gone to me. And so God was really trying to teach me of like the Job, taking things away. Are you still going to trust me? Are you still going to trust that this is my vision? Are you still going to trust that this is me speaking to my people? Whether there's 30 or there's 300. And then from then I was like, okay, God, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Okay. And so, yeah, it's been a journey, but yeah, it's been great.
And then somewhere along the line, your partner who you started sort of like left, and that also through a bit of a span of
So my best friend, who is still my best friend, still my sister, she left the Transcend, which is the movement, and that was like the hardest thing I've ever experienced, ever with Transcend. And I do feel like now if anyone was to leave, like it can never shake me, because I feel like if my own partner could leave, then anyone can leave. But yeah, she just couldn't do it with where God was taking her, and with the path that she now needed to focus on after uni. It just wasn't working. You know, that didn't affect our relationship or anything like that. We're still best as a friend ever. But it was hard for me because I carried this vision now on my own. And I still have my husband, who was then my boyfriend and fiance all through. He was there right from the beginning, literally being my armor bearer. Literally just being like, he was being the main guy to literally bear everything that Transcend carries through me. And he was the one, you know, pushing me and encouraging me. But
I think at times we go through those situations for us to learn how to be totally dependent on God. You know, like it's not about, you know, who we think will always be there for us. It's about knowing that, it all goes back to Him. We've got to rely totally on Him. And like you said, it's not because she didn't want to. If circumstances change in our lives, then what do we do? But if we have it at the back of our hand that it's always God and He's the rock, you know. But that's what your lesson, isn't it? Which is what you said, a very vital lesson, that at the end of the day, you know, I still need to keep going and keep doing what I need to do. So you, after 7 productions, is that correct? 7, in 3 years. Excellent. I think that's absolutely amazing. What are you thinking of doing with Transcend in terms of moving forward as we round up?
So right now we're a team of 35 young people, and we are all about building right now. This is our season of building. We want to really lay that foundation, which is so key. So key. Especially because we didn't know what, like, we were young. I've always been thrown into leadership positions. I've never necessarily been like, I know I have all the resources and all the knowledge. I don't. So it was just a more of.
That's how God works. He throws you in.
No, He does, and then He equips you while He's doing it.
That's right.
So right now we're focusing on building. We're focusing on laying that foundation so that we can continue the productions in a systematic way and continue the way we were doing. So we're always restructuring and things like that, but we're really laying that foundation, and then by God's grace we'll have our production at the end of this year, by God's grace, and then more next year and so forth.
And it would be lovely to invite you. I would invite you to my church. You know? I think what you're doing and what you've done is absolutely brilliant, because you can be in university and, like you said, you could be doing all those other things, partying, enjoying yourself, obviously studying, which is why you're there. But to be able to have that contact, and then to be able to use that contact, you know, be driven enough to want to share it with others. I think that's absolutely amazing. So well done, Danielle, and thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you on here, and we'll support you wherever way we can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next week on Story Before Glory.
My parents were still studying, they were young, and when I was born, I was fostered. So I spent actually the first 8 years of my life fostered.